Peace. Self-defense. Brother Malcolm said that self-defense is intelligent. So it's time for us to become intelligent and use our intelligence. You understand? Because we seem to be lacking in that particular area, And when we talk about self-defense, we have to examine that term, in a more deep understanding, because think about it. The self is a very vast word. It's composed of many pieces and elements of the human organism. You understand? Especially the self. You know what I mean? There's many aspects of it that we must defend. And when Brother Malcolm was speaking about self-defense, he was speaking about probably at that particular time about this type of self-defense, using your hands to defend yourself from enemies, foreign or domestic. See, the thing is that here in America, our people, historically being the indigenous people, everything amongst us is foreign. You understand what I'm saying? Even though we have been made to seem to be the foreigner. And everything amongst us is domestic because this is where we come from. This is our home. And in the same breath, we must understand that we are being constantly under attack, not only by the system, but even by our own community and predators in our own community. So self-defense is important, but we must examine what that really means because, see, there's mental self-defense also. You understand? You must be able to guard your mind and your soul as well as your physical body. You understand? Because, see, that's the encompassment of the self. A person who can defend themselves like this, 9 times out of 10 can defend themselves spiritually, mentally, and emotionally because it all goes hand in hand because the human organism is one and everything is one within this particular element. So self-defense is very intelligent. And we're in a time period where you will be tested to see how you defend yourself, not only in the court of law, not only in the streets, not only spiritually, ethically, morally. These are all aspects of self-defense and how you will have to defend yourself against particular types of external factors, which will raise themselves up right in front of you. But how do you deal with it? How do you strike the blow? Sometimes some blows have to be physical. Other times, some blows have to be mental and spiritual. It depends on you. The point of the matter is that self-defense is intelligent. You must begin to define yourself for you because no one else can define you. See, that's the problem with our people. We've been defined too long. I remember in the Nagusa Saba, you got the 7 principles. And in one of those principles, there's self-determination. And that principle tells you about, the ability to name yourself and to identify yourself and so on and so forth. And if I'm wrong with the principle, please correct me later on. I'm just freestyling as I always do. But I know that in the Nagusa Saba, there's a principle that discusses specifically you being able to identify yourself the way you want to. You know what I'm saying? So you got Umoja, Unity, Kujichagulia, and so on and so forth. But in those joints, it is there telling you also that you must be able to determine yourself and identify yourself in a manner which is conducive and healthy for you, and stop allowing a system and others to name you, to label you, and to describe you for their purposes. See, when you buy into the next man's purposes, you have become a footstool for the next man's purposes. You fell into an ideology. I said it many times before, and I'm gonna say it again. The Holy Quran Circle 7 says it well. A man's ideas can become his God. And his God changes as he unfolds. But the thing is that somebody's ideas can become another person's God. And that person will never unfold from the ideology. You know what I'm saying? Because they bought into someone else's ideology and they accepted that. That is the condition of our people. We have brought into the ideologies of other groups. And we accept it, and we're comfortable being Negroes. We're comfortable being black, colored, African American, 2 continents, all of that. Which is why I always say, I can't separate myself from my people. We're the same people. You understand? So the thing is that in order for us to get going to where we need to be, we have to learn to defend ourselves. And self-defense is vast. Comes in many aspects. You know what I'm saying? And that's this morning's, get down. is defending yourself. You know what I'm saying? I suggest that you learn and you teach your children and you teach your wives and so on and so forth how to defend themselves, not only with some form of martial art, but also with some form of mental self-defense. You understand what I'm saying? Some form of emotional self-defense, being able to guard your emotions and your mental state from darts that try to pierce the mind. See, the mind is pierced through the soul because real psychology is the study of the soul. It's not the study of the brain. You know what I'm saying? And the brain is the physical manifest or the physical counterpart to soul. You see what I mean? So therefore, you have to guard that very, very well because everything around you is trying to taint it and trying to pull it from you or actually trying to just make you give it up. And see, and you're giving it up because we fall victim. You understand? We fall victim to our surroundings. We fall victim to materialism and we fall victim to money and so on and so forth. Money is necessary, but the way that we fall victim to it is reckless. We spend billions and billions of dollars a year and we have nothing to show for it. No schools, no hospitals, nothing, no military, nothing. So that's the people who are wasting their existence. You understand what I mean? This is why I always say if we're not careful, we're going to be museum exhibits. Somebody's going to be standing there and giving a story about this nation that used to exist. Like we do many stories about many nations that are no longer on this planet because for some reason they don't exist anymore. If we're not careful, it's going to be the same way for us, but we must learn how to defend ourselves and to defend our very existence. If you can't defend that, then we're in trouble. But we must defend our very existence unified. I'm going to say it again. I ask for unity all the time. And people say, well, I don't trust people who ask for unity. I'm not asking for it in that manner. I'm saying it's what it is. I'm not asking. I'm telling you, this is what we have to do. We have to drop everything, all names, titles, everything, and come together under one common cause. You understand what I mean? That's self-defense. Because when I look at me and I look at you, I see self. I don't separate myself from my brothers and sisters or from humanity because I'm a part of that. You understand what I'm saying? We're all under the same air. Air creates blood. Air is one of the very vital factors that create blood. So it's all one blood because we are breathing the same air. See where I'm going with this? So you can stop playing the games and the illusions because that's not self-defense. That is you not defending yourself when you are playing into these illusions in these fictitious games. You understand what I'm saying? That's not self-defense. That's getting beat in the head on purpose. And many of you like getting beat in the head. So today's message this morning is defend yourself, defend your family. You know what I'm saying? Peace.